Hello, good afternoon, Toastmaster of the day. Visiting Toastmasters, distinguished Toastmaster, Christian Lim, Kelvin Leong, Brian Chai, Fernando. There's a lot of distinguished Toastmasters today, and thanks to Jenny for inviting all of them. Our fellow Toastmaster, our first-time members, Santwana, Durga Prasad, Siva, and after a long-term returning Freya. So welcome you all today. I'm very excited because we have so many people and it's quite exciting. And once again, thanks to all the seasoned visiting Toastmasters to come and take part in our chapter meeting and also take part as a project evaluator and language evaluator. I'm very sure that it's going to be a great learning session for all our members, and we're all going to learn from your experience and expertise. So let us all give a big round of applause for all the visiting season, distinguished Toastmasters and other Toastmaster, John Tan, everybody else for taking time to come and take roles in our project meeting. I'm extremely positive and glad that things are getting better in Singapore, and it's slowly starting to open up now, and we are very excited. And the main thing is Singapore is ranked as fourth safest place in the world to live in this pandemic, which is a good sign for us, and we feel very safe. And this cannot happen without the effort put by the frontline workers and our efficient government handling this pandemic so well, and not to forget about the various stimulus support packages the government is offering to citizens and to the public and the businesses. And finally, not to forget our own people who are very socially responsible, staying at home and maintaining the safe distance. Our Prime Minister Hsien Loong said, "Do not fear, do not lose heart. Singapore will falter in its march forward." Initially, when this circuit breaker started, I was very worried staying at home and working from home. Later, I started to realize that it's a benefit for us. It's something positive for us. Staying at home, we are able to spend more time with the family and also spend minimum time in travel. Moving forward, I believe this is going to be the new norm for most of us to work from home. And I think this will be a great boon for people who need to travel long distance for work. Post-COVID-19 is going to create a lot of new opportunities for us, and we need to take it in a positive stride and move forward, as our PM rightly said. This pandemic not only affected us, it has also affected great personalities in the past, like Shakespeare in 16th century. In 1592, there was a severe plague in London and all the theatres were shut down. So there was no choice for Shakespeare but to stay at home in a lockdown situation like what we're doing right now. This plague really made Shakespeare to move into poetry. Previously, he was into plays mainly. So this period, 1592 to 1594, was a period which made Shakespeare turn towards poetry. It's a good thing which happened because of the plague then. Shakespeare had a very little formal education in English, and he had a very difficult childhood. I understood that he only went for a school and he learned Latin from age 7, and he had to discontinue his school at age of 12 due to financial difficulties. But isn't it amazing for a person who had a little knowledge in English to become a world famous poet and playwright in English? Now, most of the major top universities in the world have Shakespeare's poetry and plays as part of their curriculum, even after 400 years, because of its relevance. I was also very inspired to hear another great scientist, Michael Faraday's childhood. It was quite relevant to Shakespeare. Michael Faraday lived in 18th century and he was also born in London. He had a very pathetic, poor early childhood. His family was so poor that his mother could only feed him one slice of bread per week. And he needed to cut that into 14 slices, and he took 2 slices per day. Obviously, his parents was not able to send him for any education, but that didn't stop Michael Faraday from learning. He was very interested in learning and he loved to read books. In his early childhood, he used to go to the old bookshops in London and try to read books standing in the corner in a bookshop silently. After a while, the shopkeepers started to shoo away Faraday because they know Faraday is not going to buy books from them anymore. But except for one shopkeeper who was very impressed with the interest which Faraday had, and offered him a job in his bookshop to bind the books and also let him study the books in his free time. Michael Faraday was happily binding the books, and he never missed any books that comes for binding. He'll read everything. And he had more interest for the books that has research topics. He was not hesitant to clarify his doubts on those research topics. You know what he will do? When he goes back to deliver the bind books, right, he will go and ask the author about his doubts and get it clarified. He was so interested in learning. After a while, his bookshop owner bought a ticket for an English eminent scientist, Sir Humphrey Davy's lecture for Michael Faraday to attend. That was a turning point in Michael Faraday's life. And he got connected with Sir Humphrey Davy. And realizing the potential Michael Faraday had, Sir Humphrey Davy asked Michael Faraday to join him as his research assistant. That enabled him to learn a lot of new things, and he did a lot of researches. That enabled him to discover principles on electromagnetic induction, which is one of the most influential discoveries in this world history. Both the lives of Shakespeare and Michael Faraday give us a great hope and instill a belief that sky is the only limit if you are sincere, passionate, and dedicated whatever we are doing. If you want to convert your obstacles into stepping stone, what you need to know is the outside world, whatever happening in the outside world, you're unable to change. But what you can change is your mind. You need to really tell yourself to stay positive and find the viable solutions. Find solutions for your problem. Push yourself hard because there's nobody there to do that for you. Remember, obstacles do not block your path. They are the path for you. Back to you, TMD.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Valepan. Very good. Motivating sharing. Yeah, so obstacles is a great thing for us to grow. Agree with you.